Greetings, peeps, and welcome to IHU 101, Humanities Through the Arts. I'm your host, Dr. Tim Hendrickson, and I will be your host for the next several weeks as we go through this course together. Once again, my name is Dr. Tim Hendrickson. You can call me Dr. H, everybody does. Just a little bit about me. I'm a pretty laid-back guy. Pretty approachable. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email. I'm happy to do whatever I can to help you out. Now, a little bit about this course. This course is essentially a survey of the arts through the lens of music, and we're going to be looking at all areas of art, all mediums, including painting and sculpture, theater and dance, and architecture. But we're going to be viewing all of this through the lens of music. So I am a professor of music, so it kind of stands to reason that my take on this course, and we have other professors at Delta who teach this course, and we sort of take turns, we rotate teaching it. But my particular field of study is music, and so therefore I'm going to be teaching it through the lens of music. We are going to be examining and contemplating the human experience as it relates to art, which makes sense. This is, after all, humanities through the arts. We're going to be relating various forms of art with respect to their similarities and or their differences. And we're also going to be viewing recordings of live performances of local artists and submitting questions to these artists. And this has to do with a series of podcasts that you are going to be taking part in. And we'll have much more about that later as we get closer to those. Let's talk a little bit about attendance and grading. First of all, this is an online course. So there is no physical or virtual meeting time. And that means that you are responsible for logging on and completing the work. That's all on you. There is no face-to-face meeting with me. You don't have me breathing over your shoulder saying, you know what, help, I'm not breathing over your shoulder, but looking over your shoulder and saying, you got to get this done, you got to get this done. This is all on you. So you have to budget your time. You have to be the one that is motivated to get the work done. Attendance is taken through your participation in this course. So your completion of assignments, your communication with me, your participation in the podcast, your participation in the online discussion topics, all of those things are things that that I will count as your attendance. So every time you log on, every time you complete an assignment, that's counted as your attendance. Every time you respond to an email, that's counted as attendance. And by the way, I will be sending out emails periodically saying, I need you to respond to this. Just a simple got it, Dr. H will do. That will count as your attendance. So just kind of watch for those. Grading is very simple. You do the work, you make an A. It's actually very difficult to fail one of my courses. You can, it's possible, but you really have to work at it. So my advice is do the work, you're going to make an A. Having said that, let me just interject here that I grade on effort and participation every bit as much as I do good test scores, correct answers, and so forth. Now, of course, I want you to give factual information and to answer as correctly as you possibly can. But just as important, I want you to be engaged in the course. I want you to be engaged in the material. So I need you to be participatory. I need you to be involved in the course. Just simply regurgitating facts and figures is not enough. I need you to be involved in the course. So we'll find out more about what that exactly means as we go along. Use your time wisely, as I said before. It's really easy with an online course to sort of, let things kind of slip away because it's not in our face every single day. So I encourage you, log on often and check your email often and make sure you understand. Take a look at that detailed course calendar, which is something we're going to take a look at a little bit in depth in just a moment. Make sure you understand where you're at with respect to the timeline. Even though this is a full semester, you've only got a set number of weeks in order to complete. So please budget your time wisely. Don't wait until the last minute to complete assignments. So our course is structured a little bit differently because this is an online course. It's structured differently than what you might find in a face-to-face course. For example, there's two sides to the story. There is the e-learning side, and there is our online textbook side. So on the e-learning side, this is where you're going to find things like announcements, course syllabus, discussion topics, course section descriptions, and of course those podcasts. Now, let me just give you a little quick rundown on what the podcasts are, and we're going to go into those more in depth later on. But essentially what it is I go out and record a live performance of one of the local artists here in the Tri-Cities, and then you view that recording, and then you will submit questions based upon what you see and hear to the artist. And then I have the artist come in on an interview on IHU 101, the podcast. And so I will read your questions to the artist on the show, and you get to view that. So it's a lot of fun, and it's something interesting and new. So I consider it an honor, first of all, that you would want to participate in it, but even more so that you do. And the artists are always very flattered, and the questions are always very thought-provoking and very meaningful. So again, more on that as we get closer to it. Let's talk about our online textbook side. This is the McGraw-Hill Connect, and it's more than just a textbook. For those of you that have already purchased the online textbook access code, you understand that it is not just a text. There are also assignments that you will be asked to complete, and that's on that McGraw-Hill Connect site. There is a free 90-day trial of it, but I don't recommend that you do that because you might not get through everything in time, and then you'd lose your trial version and you lose all your work. So unfortunately, a textbook purchase is just something that we have to do for the classes that we take. There are 4 sections, and on the online textbook side, you'll have those 4 sections listed, and there are writing and reading assignments for each of those. There are quizzes that are associated with each of those, so please take a look at that. If you have not already done so, please, please, please do take a look at the online text, and if you haven't already done so, please purchase the online text and the Connect, McGraw-Hill Connect pass, because you're going to need that. You can't pass the course without it. Okay, so before we go, let's take a quick look at our e-learning site, and let's take a look at our online text. Okay, let's take a look at our e-learning site. When you initially log on to e-learning, you will come to the e-learning or D2L Brightspace homepage, and there you should see a list of all the courses that you are currently enrolled in. Of course, if you're only enrolled in my course, then this is the only one you're going to see. So this, when you click on our course, that is IHU 101 FA 810, Humanities Through the Arts, this is what you're going to see, our course's homepage. And this is where you will find any news and information pertaining to our course, such as schedule changes or assignment changes, things like that. Also, any additions or omissions to our schedule, you can find an announcement on this page. And as you have already probably surmised, you know that I copy all of this in email to you. So every time there's an announcement, I always copy it and paste it into an email and send it out to the entire class. So this is what you see, and let me interject something here. If you are using a cell phone or a tablet to complete your online assignments. There's nothing wrong with that. Only just please remember, you should scroll down on your phone because there's a lot of information to be found, more than what's at the top of the page. So please do scroll down. You will also notice something on the lower right-hand corner of our homepage that is called a calendar. While this is a little bit of a useful tool, it isn't right at the moment, but will be. This shows you what is coming due. It is not our detailed course calendar. That is something completely different. This is just a basic calendar that's provided by our eLearning D2L site. Okay, so take a look at the top menu bar here. We have some tabs, the course home, which is where we are now. You have the contents tab, the grades tab, the activities tab, communication, course tools, help desk, and library resources. You are only going to be using these first two tabs to start, and the activities tab, and you may use the communications tab. And let's just take a look at the content tab first. When you click on that, you will come up to something that looks like this. Let's just click on the course syllabus. If you have not already looked at the course syllabus, I urge you to do so. It contains some useful information. Also talks about assignments, grading, and so forth. So I encourage you just take a look at it if you have not already. And then we have our infamous detailed course schedule. So I urge you to take a look at that. And you also see where you have sections, section 1, section 2, section 3, and section 4. You also have some links that are called IHU podcasts. This one, number 3, you don't need to worry about this right now. They will be coming available soon. But we're going to talk more about those in an upcoming course vid. For now, let's concentrate on this detailed course schedule and how it is designed. Notice that there are some columns here. The first column is the start column, which shows you when things are beginning, when the assignments start, in other words, what the assignment is and what section you're in. We have 4 sections. And the assignment type, whether it's reading or writing, and you will find that you will always have reading and writing in each of the assignments, as well as quizzes. So you'll see that once you get into our book. And then, of course, the due date. So notice that you have, for this first section, you have until September 21st to complete it. That's everything in this first section. That's the first 2 chapters. And then in the second section, you have in all these chapters 3, 4, and 5. You also have the first podcast performance. Again, don't worry about that just yet, but just notice you have until October 19th to finish the things that are in this section. So I try to give you 2 to 3 weeks to complete the assignments that are on our online text, as well as assignments that have to do with like viewing the podcast performances and so forth. So again, more about those podcasts in a later episode. Okay, so pretty straightforward, nothing really mysterious about this. You will see a link to our online textbook. It says to please click on the following link to access our online ebook and assignments. Now, if you have not already done so, if you click on this link, you're going to be brought to a page that's going to ask you for some information, such as your login information. It may ask you to make a purchase. It may give you a free trial option. That is entirely up to you. However, just remember, you cannot complete this course successfully without the text. And that is without access to all of the assignments. And all of the assignments are on this McGraw-Hill Connect site. So you do need both. You do need the online text or the ebook version of the text, as well as access to this McGraw-Hill Connect. We're going to take a look at more of that in just a moment, but understand that that link is only to get you to purchase or register the text. There is no actual link on our site to the online text, that's something that you will need to bookmark on your own once you have registered and purchased that online textbook access code and access to the Connect, McGraw-Hill Connect materials. Okay, so that pretty much does it for e-learning, except for when you go to the activities and you go to discussions. In the discussions tab, you will see our first discussion, which is who are you? If you have not already done so, you click on this and you can subscribe to this topic. I'll just do that for sake of argument here. You subscribe to the topic, and it will allow you to post. And of course, in the instructions, it shows you or tells you to tell us a little bit about yourself and then to post 2 short responses to 2 of your classmates. So pretty simple, pretty easy. I think it's something that you're not going to have any trouble with. Another thing you will notice on the activities tab are some other items under the discussions menu, such as the podcasts. And we're going to talk about the podcasts more as we go along. These will not work for you right now, so don't worry about that. I will have updated podcasts for you very shortly. Okay, so and then you have a communication tab, and you can click on the class list, and that's going to bring you the entire class list of our students, all the students enrolled in our course. And if you want to email the entire class, you could click on this and click email and, knock yourself out. Or if you want to email an individual student, you can do that too, or groups of students. So I leave that up to you. It is not necessary unless you want to pose a question to the entire class, which you are, of course, welcome to do so. That's again up to you. Okay, you also have course tools, help desk, library resources. We will not be using any of these last 3 in our course, but you might find uses for them yourself. If you click on the grades tab, you will see that there are some grading scales here for you. I will plug those in once your assignments are completed. Okay, so that takes care of e-learning. Now let's take a look at our online text. When we log on to Connect, the McGraw-Hill Connect site, you're going to be brought to a page that looks like this. This is your sort of your main dashboard for the McGraw-Hill Connect things. Notice how it says IHU 101, FA 810, and humanities through the arts and so forth. And then it has some options here and some choices. You can read your book by clicking on this link. It brings you to the online text. For some reason, this is up to page 26 or 27, whatever that was. You can start at the beginning and work your way through to all of it. So you have the ability to navigate through the book by scrolling on these arrows left and right. And of course, your assignments, your reading assignments, are found on our detailed course calendar. We'll just pop in back there just a moment and take a look at that very quickly. Notice how it says chapters 1 and 2. So you have from now until September 21st to completely read these chapters 1 and 2 and to do the quiz, the short essays, and so forth that are assigned with this section. So where do we find those things? These are all over here. Notice on the right side of the page, you have chapter 1, the humanities and introduction. Again, this is reading. Notice how it has a little book showing you the reading. And then we have, if you click on this right arrow, you say begin, it brings you again back to the text, allowing you to begin your reading assignment. And then we have another series of reading that's for chapter 2. The same thing will happen. Then you have writing. So if you click on this blue box here with the white arrow in it, it's going to bring you up to a quiz. And so you can begin that quiz, and it's going to bring you to this page. It tells you the assignment details. It tells you how many points, okay, and the due date, which is again September 21st. And you can continue. And these are just simple multiple choice questions, okay? So again, this is all pretty straightforward stuff, nothing too earth-shattering. So I encourage you to play around with it, actually, and allow yourself the luxury of playing around with our online text and with the assignments. So we do have the ability to save and exit your work. So like if you get started and something happens, you get interrupted, you can save your work and exit it, and then you can continue the assignment, or you can exit now. If you choose to exit now, obviously it's going to bring you back to our main dashboard. Okay, so I hope that this little demonstration has been beneficial for you. And I also hope that you are able to navigate through the online text and through the assignments. As always, if you have questions, please feel free to email me. Okay, so I hope you found that look at our e-learning site and our online text to be helpful and informative. I realize this is a very quick look at things, but you will be getting into it more in depth as we go along. We will be getting into it more in depth as we go along. As always, if you have questions, feel free to email me. If it becomes necessary, we can certainly set up a one-on-one face-to-face meeting in my office on campus at Delta, or we can also set up a Zoom meeting if that's more convenient for you. All I ask is that you email me ahead of time so that we know, when to get this done. Also, just please give it some time. This is a brand new semester. We're only 1 week in, so give it some time. There's always some glitches in the beginning, but they will be worked out. Everything's going to work out just fine. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So I look forward to getting to work with each of you, even if it's only in cyberspace. And I look forward to reading your comments, your discussion topics, and of course, any assignments that we get to do together. So take care, folks, and we'll see you soon.
Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There's nothing too good for a girl that's so true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Bought you a fur coat for Christmas, a diamond ring, a Cadillac car, and everything. Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee,